Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to present today and to tell you a little bit about the Data Resource Center, which I'm the PI together with Shankar Subramaniam. Today I'm going to talk about this product that we are tasked to develop, and it is called CFDE Workbench. And it is web portal for the CFDE to host data and also information. So this URL can take you to the portal, and we are tasked to create an information portal and a data portal. So you can toggle between the two websites, the information portal website and the data portal, and find information about the CFDE and the data sets. And today I'm really going to focus on the data portal. So our vision for the data portal for the CFDE is to bring in metadata, process data, and other types of assets from the different participating DCCs or common fund programs. So we can have a way to build tools and then form hypotheses that combine data from across the DCCs or across from combining those data sets together. And this is really the vision of the CFDE. So this workflow show you how it works. So first we have this system where people can upload their data, and then we ingest those data sets, we assess their fairness, and we display them in this data matrix for people to upload. And then once we have all this data, which is process data, metadata, we are able to build a search engine for people to find those assets because they start to accumulate and there's a lot of them, as well as build tools that take that data and generate those hypotheses and visualizations. And this is the presentation that Giacomo is going to give after I'm done. So the types of data that we have from the different centers, and some of it is their contribution. They created, particular the metadata and the knowledge graph assertions. They create those and upload to this submission system that we developed. And there are some other types of data sets that you probably heard of before, which is the gene sets that are organized from those different sources, and those are called XMT, as well as knowledge graph assertions. And we are also starting to gear up to have attribute tables, which are really useful for machine learning and AI type of applications. And so we divide those assets to metadata, data on the left, and also code assets. So in the code assets, we have ETL scripts that track how the raw data is converted to those processed data formats. We also collect APIs from those DCCs, from those repositories that serve this data, as well as application URLs, landing pages, and we also experimenting with chatbot, which we're going to discuss. So once you upload your data into this submission system, the assets that you uploaded are listed and automatically getting assessed for fairness. And this is done using the tool called FairShake. And FairShake is displaying the assessment of fairness as an insignia, which is a bunch of boxes with different colors. So if it's blue, it means it meets the fair assessment answer 100%. And if it's red, it is missing some aspect of fair that the uploader may want to fix. And this is only visible to the uploaders and the submitters, the approvers from the different centers. And then once it is approved, it gets displayed in this data matrix that lists all of those assets that I mentioned, the code assets and the data and metadata assets. This is just another view. So all of the centers have their row in this table. and gradually that table gets filled up. So once we have the data, all of this data is served in a search engine. This is a screenshot from the C2M2 crosscut metadata search, where the metadata from the centers is organized in this common metadata model to identify common metadata elements from across the DCCs. And then once we have that, we can start doing a search. For example, here I search for the word liver, and I got almost 30,000 entries that corresponds to files from the different data coordination centers that people can access and download. You also can search the word liver for those additional process data sets. And here you can get gene sets, knowledge graph assertions, and also we have those gene pages that this particular gene is known to be in the liver. So the word liver came up in part of the gene's description. And if you click on it, you get to this gene page that links you out to those tools that can give you more information about the gene. So far we have about 10 of those apps and tools that sit on top of the data. And one of them is Pigeon that you heard about before, and also some other apps that we've developed. And also those apps enable use cases. So we also listing use cases that showcase how you can use those apps to perform various analysis. And one of those exciting apps is GeneSetCart that Giacomo is going to talk about. So I'm now going to pass the mic to Giacomo to tell you in detail about what is GeneSetCart and how it fits in this framework.
Great.
First, before we go in, questions for Avi? Hey, Avi, I have a quick question for you. Since you, as a data resource center, you guys are really the hub of where all the data and metadata is across the entire ecosystem. What's your sort of process, just for the audience, in terms of updating data as it comes in from the different DCCs? And how frequently does that happen?
So there is a window of data submission every quarter where we have 2 weeks open submission period where the DCCs are required to submit to us their C2M2 file, as well as encouraged to submit those other assets. But we are also constantly updating it ourselves. So we are going to the portals and we process data, and anytime there is a publication, then we are in a process of converting it to those process formats. So this is a joint effort by the DCCs and independently by us. But it's a good question.
That's great. Any other questions for Avi? All right. Thanks, Avi. Actually, one other point. I don't know if Giacomo's going to mention this, but Avi, I'm hoping you can stay on the line for the Q&A after Giacomo's, which is one of the things that, we mentioned earlier in the session is our thoughts about beyond, the C2M2 model. These gene sets are incredibly useful resources. And we've been talking with you and others about how we would make that a more living entity as we update gene sets coming from the DCCs, but also thinking about inviting others from other like-minded NIH resources to contribute their own gene sets or participate. Do you think we could comment on that now, or should we wait till after Giacomo's talk? What will be best?
Yeah, I think we should wait for Giacomo's talk, but I'm here and I'll be able to answer questions via chat, and we can stay also afterwards and then answer all questions, and we can have that discussion.
Beautiful. All right.
Mhm.